Hey everybody, Eric here, and today I'm changing the lift cables on a John Deere ZTrak 335. Now, this might seem like a difficult job to some people, but I promise you it's really not that bad. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do today to do this on your own. Save yourself some dough, but you will have to reach this point that I'm at right here, right now, to be able to successfully remove the old cable and reinstall your new cables. Okay, they come as an attached pair. You can see it's both cables. You have to do it at the same time. So let me just go through with you step by step how we get right here, because this is where we need to be to get those cables in and out. And it's really not that bad. We're going to start with the seat. We have to first unplug the electrical connector on the seat, and then we're going to remove it from this little cable clamp here. And these are a lot easier than you think. Some people fiddle with, so I need the flat blade screwdriver. Go right in here, pull this out, and it's open. Okay, you just snap back into place. All right, you're gonna have two of these. You have this one, and you have one on another wiring harness that we have to undo. All right, so take that loose, and then you're gonna pull the two pins out one at a time and remove the entire seat. Okay. Next thing we need to do is remove the two arms on both sides. 13mm socket, deep well socket. We'll take both screws off on both sides. Then we gotta remove this guy right here, this whole cover that goes on top. Only thing holding this in, once you got the rest of that off, the only thing holding it in is 5 of these, right? This might be one of the most fiddly parts of this job. You have to pull the center piece out, and then you can pull the rest of the pin out. Okay, and make a special tool that reaches in here and grabs underneath that center piece and pulls it out. Well, who the hell's got one of those? I sure don't. So I use a screwdriver with my fingers. All right, let me show you where they're at. You only got 5 of them. There's gonna be one in the back on the bottom there. There's gonna be one right here towards the front. On both sides, same position, and you have one in the center. Okay, once you got those 5 out, the only thing you have left to do is pull that wiring harness going to your seat loose from this clamp. All right, and then just lift the whole cover off. You have to lift the left side first, and that way you'll clear the throttle on your right. It literally takes 5 minutes to do the seat and this cover. It's not hard at all. Then the next thing we're going to do is remove the ends from our cables. Okay, I'm going to have a 17mm socket or wrench for the nut to completely remove the nut. This is a 16mm. I can't find my 16mm at the moment, so I used the 5/8. It worked fine. That way we can remove the clevis part from the cable itself. And then you're gonna have, this is holding to the frame where it goes through right here. Okay, on the bottom is the C-clip. All right, you have to reach in there and pull that C-clip off of the bottom of the cable. All right, that's what's holding it in place on this bracket. All right, I just reached in here with a screwdriver and grabbed, you'll see some little openings on the side, and reach in here with my screwdriver and pry this off. Do not lose this. They don't send you a new one with a new cable. Okay, so if you do lose it, you can go buy like a kit of a bunch of sorted size at Harbor Freight for like 10 bucks. So I have one because you never know. These things get lost so easily, but try not to lose it. All right, so we got both ends. Gonna do that on both ends of the cable. And then we're going to remove the other end of the cables where they attach to the lever where your handle is underneath the machine. All right, there's going to be a bolt, 13mm. Once again, you're going to take the bolt all the way out. This is mounted to like a bracket. Take the bolt all the way off and remove the entire bolt. That'll free both cables from this end. All right, so now both our cables are free. Now we have to be able to get them out. This is where the problem comes. The right side It's almost self-explanatory. I don't need to show you. It just loops up and round and down over to the right. This side is where it becomes difficult. You can see it comes up and into here and through this part, and then it goes around the gas tank and down into here. And from there it goes down under the machine, loops back up into your lever, okay? This is what you have to do. This is where the sticky part is, right here. You can't get the cable out, okay? So there's two things you're gonna have to do. Well, to be able to get the cable out of here, really is one thing you have to do. Just move the gas tank, all right? There's no other way you're gonna get that cable out until you lift this gas tank up and out of the way. And to be able to lift it up and out of the way enough, you have to remove this bracket for your parking cable. There are two torque screws, a T27. Just take those two out. Make sure your parking brake cable is not engaged, so there's no pressure on it, and move this up enough so you can lift the gas tank up enough out of the way, okay, to be able to get your cable in and out of here. Right? This is the sticky point of this whole job right here, and this is how you get around it. From there, we have to actually remove quite a few bolts and lift this whole frame up. Okay, see this? And a 2x4 works perfect if you have it in the front. This is all you need to do. But to be able to lift it up, got a few bolts I got to take out. Okay, I got one right here in the front. Right, a bolt and a lock nut on the bottom. Take it completely out. We have two more bolts right here. Same thing. Take them off, just like the front. Take them completely out. You also have a bracket that's for your seat with the spring on it. There's one bolt. Take this out as well. Do the same thing on both sides. All right. The only thing different on the other side is going to be the front bolt. Okay. The front bolt's kind of sandwiched in here between your height selector, and you can just leave it into place. And then there's only one thing you have left to do before you can lift this up high enough. Yeah, I should have actually told you, you have to disconnect this one clamp, barn wire harness clamp, and move it out of the way to be able to lift the gas tank up. Once you have all the other bolts loose, you can lift this whole front assembly up and put it on that 2x4. The reason we need to do that is to be able to get this end of the cable out. Okay, so we're going to show you where that's at. There's no bolts holding this in place. It just slides into place just like this. Find my orientation here, and here's the slot. Okay, so we have to lift that whole unit up high enough to be able to slide this towards you, okay, this direction a little bit, and then it will come out. All right, you're not going to accomplish that unless you lift the front of this unit. All right, so that's how it just slides in there, and once you lower it back down, the frame keeps it from coming out. Okay, this is pretty much the whole job in a nutshell, guys. The hardest part is getting that cable out on the other side. When you go to put it back in, start with the long cable, route it up in from the bottom, in through your here, and into your slot, and close to where you're going to be before you lower any of this back down and into place. All right, and then you can also, as you're going and pulling that forward, you can route the second cable. Once you got those two cables really close to where they're going to be, then you can loop the back end up, reattach the bracket end of the cable over here, and then at that point you can lower everything back down and finalize your position of your cables. Okay, I know it sounds like a lot. It's really not that bad. I think it's maybe a 45 minute job tops, start to finish, if you know what you're doing. So biggest thing was figuring out how to get the gas tank out of the way so you can get the cable out. So hope this helps a few guys. I promise you, if you follow these steps, you'll definitely do it. You might have a few curse words along the way, actually sliding those cables in and out, but this is going to make it a lot easier for you. So appreciate everybody watching. See you next time.